That spectacularly strange set of words is two bots from Facebook. They were trading bots, they used machine learning, and they were designed to trade things in the most efficient and effective way possible. They actually, through practice and observation, were able to assign value to things. They were actually able to trick the other bot into thinking that they had assigned more value to something than they actually had. But that language is kind of the alarming conclusion of the story, is that they actually invented that to be more efficient in the way that they traded. The engineers at Facebook had absolutely no idea what they were saying and ultimately pulled the plug on the experiment. Welcome back to Tower Tech, guys. Today we're taking a look at machine learning. So normally when you start to talk about things like artificial intelligence and machine learning, the thing that normally prompts into most people's heads is this. But I'm here to tell you today we're a little bit away from the apocalypse, but perhaps not as far away as you thought. If you're not a little bit disturbed by what I'm saying, then you're not paying attention properly. The concept of computers or machines being able to think for themselves has actually existed before computers themselves existed. Alan Turing, who's the guy who basically invented modern computing, and by the way also happened to break the German Enigma code, if you don't know who I'm talking about, do go and watch The Imitation Game, he actually pondered the question, can a machine think? He actually published a paper that was all about whether a human being would be able to actually distinguish between another human being and a machine. It's known as the Turing Test. It's a way in which you can determine whether a computer has actually got artificial intelligence. It has been disputed, and it certainly has been considered controversial at times, but it's a valid test that holds until this day. If we wind the clock back to 1996, a computer created by IBM called Deep Blue is playing the world chess champion Kasparov. Ultimately, this computer drew, but then in 1997, following some upgrades, actually successfully beat the champion. He disputed this, got a little bit upset and told IBM that they'd been cheating. Ultimately, they retired Deep Blue, so we never really found out whether that was the case. But Deep Blue did not use machine learning. Deep Blue was using algorithms to actually forecast moves many times in advance, and was actually assigning percentage probabilities to how likely it would be to win the game based on a set of parameters, a process that was predefined for it to work through. That's not machine learning. It's still clever, but it's not machine learning. The subtle difference is that machine learning actually trains itself to do something through observation and through practice. This observation can be supervised or it can be unsupervised. Supervised observation means that people actually tell the machine learning code what the right answer actually is, and in unsupervised learning it doesn't. A good example of this is a computer known as Alphago that in 2015 beat the Go champion of the world. Go, if you don't know it, it's a game with grids on a board, and you have white pieces and black pieces. The idea of the game is to encircle one of your opponent's pieces, and then you can take that piece away, and you do that many times over, and ultimately if it's just your pieces left on the board, then you win. It's kind of like chess on steroids. It's for super brainy people, and through the process of machine learning, a computer has actually been able to beat the world champion, and that, as I've described, is different to Deep Blue. Deep Blue was using predefined mathematical algorithms to work out the right move to make. Alphago actually learnt to do what it was doing through observing other people playing the game and actually playing many games and altering the way in which it played dependent on the outcomes of historical games. Actually, machine learning is much more prevalent than you may realise. YouTube, this very platform that you're watching this video on, actually uses machine learning to actually predict what sort of videos and content you want to consume, and again it trains itself based on the videos that you actually do or don't click on. Amazon uses something very similar to recommend and predict products it thinks you will buy. But it is important that when we create the parameters, the brief, if you like, that machine learning is going to operate within, that we're quite careful in our brief. Tell a computer, a machine, that it's to make a human being smile. You may be slightly alarmed to find it with a couple of electrical probes in the side of someone's face, forcing a grimace or a grin, actually making someone smile through the art of telling a joke, slightly more moral, so making sure that those parameters are well defined so that we don't end up back with... Machine learning is used extensively in automation. All of the automation that you see in cars is all predicated on machine learning technology. It's driving a revolution in our data centers, which have historically been based on CPU compute workloads, driving more and more and more GPUs, because machine learning really loves parallel processing, a little bit like data mining, albeit I don't think machine learning is as responsible for the insane prices that we're seeing on GPUs at the moment. Compute power is growing exponentially. Moore's law continues to hold. IBM releasing a 5nm CPU process last year, which has probably given us at least 5 more years of life in Moore's law. And you've also got the rate at which the intelligence of machine learning growing exponentially as well. Actually, some really smart boffins have done a little bit of estimation to try and work out when computers may be smarter than us. Rather alarmingly, the earliest year I've seen described is 2025, which of course is not that far away. But very much machine learning is here to stay. It makes our lives infinitely easier on a day-by-day basis, albeit it's a bit in the background and we don't always know it's there. Subtly different from artificial intelligence, because machine learning is predicated about a predefined process to learn about specific things rather than self-awareness, which is more akin to the artificial intelligence concept. So there we go, guys. There's my quick overview of machine learning. I hope you're really well wherever in the world you are. Please like and share this video, and I'll see you in my next one.